Welcome to my fifth Let's Play. I played 9-ball against the Ghost again. It's a long time since the last Let's Play, but anyway, I'm back. Before we start into the video, I'd just like to recommend you to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up below the video, or leave a comment, or comment on my blog, or subscribe to my newsletter. Just keep in touch somehow. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments too, or to write me an email. You find my email on my website, which is www.playing-pool.com. Okay, so I played 9-ball again against the Ghost in a race to 7. Against the Ghost means I break the balls, and after that I get ball in hand and I have to run out the whole table. If I manage to run out, I get the point. If I don't run out in the first try, the Ghost gets the point and I wreck a new game. I played this at Bata Bar and Billiards in Berlin, which is my pool hall. You're invited to say hi if you're in Berlin. The difference to the Let's Plays that I played before is that I wrecked the 9-ball on the spot this time. So we see that more often in big tournaments, that the wreck is not it's not the 1-ball wrecked on the foot spot, but the 9-ball. Which makes it more difficult to make a ball, especially the wing ball. And there is a way to make a ball, which would be the 1-ball in the side or the wing ball, but to achieve that you have to play a cut break, so you can't fully hit the rack. You have to hit it a little bit on the left side if you break from the left, and that makes it harder to control the cue ball, and it's still not guaranteed that a ball goes down, as it usually is when you wreck the 1-ball on the spot. So I made it a little bit more difficult this time. Here in this first game I had a really good break. I took the 1-ball and placed it a little bit easier, but I could have played from where it was after the break. Here, that was the crucial shot in this wreck. I had to get into this quite small position zone for the 4-ball because the 8-ball covers a big part of it. And now there's another challenge because I want to play position, right there for the 5-ball, but I have to miss the 8 and the 5 with the cue ball when playing position. So as you can see, I opted here for a lot of right-hand English to play a 2-rail position for the 5-ball, which worked very well. And now I have a quite thin cut on the 5, but it's good, and I can easily play position for the 5 here. This 5-ball went down a little bit wobbly. It's almost a miss on a diamond table, but I was lucky. Have a good position on the 7 here, just a little bit close to the rail, and so couldn't fully control the shot here, so I have an almost straight in shot, but there's still a little bit of angle, so I can use again a lot of follow right English to force the cue ball down table, and I have nice position on the 9-ball here, and I think that should be an easy 1-0 lead against the Ghost. Yes, there we go. It's with the 9-ball on the spot, it's not just that it's harder to make balls, which is not that big of a problem here because I can continue playing anyway with ball in hand after the break, but it's also that sometimes the whole layout is more difficult than it would be with the different racking with the 1-ball on the spot. So you tend to have more clusters here on the table, more balls that stay on the lower part of the table, but this break really worked well, and as you will see later in the match, my break was really nice most of the time. So usually a ball went down, and I also had position on the first ball, either the 1-ball or whatever ball was the lowest after the break. In case there are people listening who don't know what 9-ball is, so as you can see, 9-ball is only played with 9 balls, which are the balls from 1 to 9. And you're always supposed to hit the lowest numbered ball first, the lowest ball that's still on the table. So now that would be the 1 ball, the yellow 1 ball. If the 1 ball went down, it would have been the 2, but the 2 is also down, so next ball would be the 3. So you always have to hit the lowest numbered ball first, but you're allowed to make any ball into the pocket. So you can play combination shots. You can play kiss shots where you hit the lowest ball first, but then the cue ball hits another ball and this ball goes down. And whoever makes the 9-ball wins the game. So it can happen that you pocket balls from 1 to 8, you miss the 9, your opponent makes the 9, wins the game. Very simple game. Usually it's played that you run all the balls in their order. So now I made the 1 ball, played position for the red 3 into the side pocket. I have a little bit more angle that I'd like to have. Actually, I wanted no angle. Now I have quite a big angle. So the cue ball, if I make it to the side pocket, the cue ball would travel down table and would be very hard to control for the 4 ball, the pink 4. So I decided to play it in the corner pocket, which I managed, but I should have just played a 1 rail position. I tried to use the head rail too, and I touched the 7 and therefore hooked myself on the 4. Of course it's easy to hit the 4, but making it is very hard. So I missed this 4 ball, and it's 1-1. So every time I don't manage to run out, the ghost gets the point. So it's 1-1 now. Was a little bit sloppy play here. The actual mistake happened already on the 1 ball when I played that position on the 3, which was not precise enough. So of course I was able to make the 3, but sometimes it's the tiny errors that get bigger and bigger. Yeah, and I had ball in hand on the 1, so that should have been a better position. Whatever, it's still early in the match, so nothing's lost. Let's see what I can do. Okay, very nice break here again. Again, the position on the 1 ball is very good, so I could have played from here, but of course I have ball in hand, so I will use that advantage and place the cue ball a little bit easier. The 3 ball is covered partly by the 7, so I have quite a small position zone here. Well, not super small, but I think I try to play the cue ball to the left side of the 3, so I can play the 3 in the right corner pocket from our perspective. And again, that was sloppy position play with ball in hand. I wanted the cue ball to be like half or 3/4 of a diamond lower on the table. Now I have a really thin cut on the 3, which is first difficult to pocket, and second, position is hard to control. Yeah, I miss it. Well, I missed it. If I made it, the cue ball would have traveled a little bit longer, so the position on the 4 would have been good. But yeah, in real life, I might have tried a safety shot here. But in this game, you have to play offensive all the time. So again, easy mistake with ball in hand on the 1 ball. That was the actual mistake. Missing the 3, that can happen. It's not an easy shot. but the position on the 3 was not very well played. Consider that I had ball in hand on the 1 ball. So it's 1-2. Ghost is in the lead, and it should be, well, you never know what kind of mistakes I could have made later in the racks, but that was 2 easy mistakes early in the rack. So you shouldn't waste your chances like that if you want to win against the Ghost. Alright, next chance. Okay. So I got a ball down again, and the 1 ball travels to the upper right hand corner pocket, which what it usually does if it doesn't go into the side pocket. So again, I have a really nice position on the 1, but I can again improve that position a little bit with ball in hand. I choose to put the cue ball on the other side of the 1. So now I have a very easy position shot from the 1 to the 2 in the side pocket. From there, I just, well, stop it there or draw it back a little bit. The 3 ball is covered a little bit by the 6 and the 9, so I shouldn't draw it too far. That's what I had in mind, so I drew it a little bit too little. I wanted to draw it a little bit more. Now I have to bridge over the 7, elevate the cue a little bit. You don't want to do that, especially because I'm playing this with left-hand English to avoid this cluster, which I didn't manage. Things are not getting easier. Very tough shot on the 5 now, especially if I have to play position. So there's 2 options now: draw shot to play the 6 ball in the left center pocket, or the other option, which I tried with top right-hand English and get position for the 6 in the lower right pocket. Missed the shot, was a difficult shot, of course. So it's 1-3 for the Ghost, and as everybody can see, I'm giving away my chances too easily here. And that's what usually makes us lose in 9-ball. 9-ball is a lot about control, so you either want to run out the table or leave a difficult situation for your opponent. You don't want to miss shots. You can't prevent missing shots, but it's very easy to get a higher winning percentage in 9-ball without improving your playing ability by just learning to keep control over the game. So don't try crazy stuff. Play a safety instead. Let your opponent make a foul or leave an open situation for you because you forced him, and then you can run out again. So if you get out of line, don't do crazy stuff. Play it safe, keep control, and then run out next time you get to the table. Again, 1 ball down, and a nice position on the 1 ball. I mean, a ball went down. It's the 6 ball. 6 ball went down. Nice position on the 1. Again, I could play from here, so it's really amazing. With the 9 ball on the spot, usually you can't really control the outcome. So that would have been a couple of very nice breaks with position on the lowest numbered ball every time. But of course, in this version of the match against the Ghost, I can take the cue ball in hand and choose the position I want. So now I decide to play the cue ball on the right side of the 2. It's covered by the 8, so I need to get very high. I also had to avoid the 5 ball, so I just placed the cue ball with a little bit of angle towards the 1, and then I had a lot of left-hand English to get the cue ball to the top of the table. Now I just roll the 2 ball. The natural angle of the cue ball brings it to the 3. Perfect angle here. So now I can just follow with a little bit of right-hand English to change the angle a little bit that the cue ball takes after the first rail. Nice position on the 4. I wanted a straight shot on the 4. I didn't get it, so now I'm playing a stun shot, floating the cue ball over to play the 5 ball in the other center pocket. A little bit too slow. So now I have quite some angle on the 5. It's even more than it looks like on the screen. So now I'm playing the 5 ball in the side and use a lot of left-hand English and bottom to play 2 rails, a side rail and the head rail, missing the 8 ball. Yeah. 1, 2. That's exactly the path I wanted to play, but the speed is not perfect. I want a little bit more speed to play the 7 in the bottom left corner. Now I decide to play it in the bottom right corner, which is first difficult to make, and second I need to get up table for the 8 ball right there. So it's a standard shot, but that doesn't make it easy. So now I'm playing kind of a stop shot. So the cue ball will travel on that 90-degree line, right this direction, and then I give a little bit of left-hand English to change the angle of the cue ball after the first rail, and then it will come up table over 3 rails very nicely. Let's see if I can make it. Boom, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Had a little bit too much speed in that shot, so I almost landed in an awkward spot, but I'm still good. Now my priority is making the 8 ball because I got a lot of angle, and the natural path of the cue ball will give me 2 rail position on the 8 ball, as you can see. So just make sure to make the 8 and then 2 rails position for the 9. I didn't have to do anything here with the cue ball, just let it roll, have the right speed. Now I have a decent position on the 9. It's a little bit less, had a little bit less speed than I wanted to, so now I have to use proper technique to make the cue ball from the make the 9 with the cue ball on the rail. I made it, and was able to get to 2 to 3. That was very important. A couple of mistakes or positional mistakes or glitches here, but anyway, I made the shot. So I made the shots and I win the game. If you want to read more about what I think about pool, what you should know about pool, I wrote a nice little book. You can find everything about it on playing-pool.com/book. Playing Pool, the Missing Manual. I've got a couple of nice reviews already, so I think this book might help you and your game. If you read it, you liked it, or you didn't like it, or you have questions, let me know. I'm always interested what my readers think about the book. Yeah, okay, let's get back to this game. It's 2 to 3, so I'm close the gap a little bit. Okay, this time I make the 1 ball into the side, but again I have a nice position on the 2, so this is completely random. 2 ball is almost fell almost into the bottom left pocket. I would have had a shot here on the 2, but of course again I take the cue ball and make it a little bit nicer, get a little bit closer to the 2. Position here is quite easy, just a little bit of bottom right, almost full hit. These are not easy to judge how much speed you need, and you have to be really precise about making the ball here. Of course the 2 ball went down anyway, but for the position you have to play that shot very precisely. Yeah, I had a perfect angle on the 3, now I have a nice angle on the 4. I'm just playing a draw shot now to draw the cue. So it's not straight, it looks almost straight, it's not straight. I'm going to draw the cue ball to the side rail before the side pocket, and I had a little bit too much draw here. So I hit the 7 and almost ran out of position, but I got lucky. Can still make the 5. Little bit of right-hand English just to change the angle a little bit. Okay, now I got a nice straight shot on the 6, which is fine. Just draw it back a little bit. Yeah, like that. That's perfect. Now I just need another draw shot on the 7, so I can draw the cue ball right there, so I can get past the 9. There's nothing I need to do here, no English, nothing, just make the shot and play nice smooth draw shot. Yeah. And then I'm not precise enough, missed the 7. Yeah, I was a little bit angry here, as you can see. That was just I got close to equalizing this match again, and yeah, made this easy mistake here. That's yeah, that's what can cost you a match like that, those easy ones. Yeah, was quite disappointed here, but well, it's a diamond table. They don't give you a lot of margin for error. You really have to play precisely here, but that was totally without pressure. There was a lot of space. I didn't have to move the cue ball around a lot. Not much distance between the balls, so that was just sloppy. Anyway, it's 4-2 in favor of the ghost. Now I definitely need to do something, otherwise I'm getting under real pressure here. Raise to 7. So I can only afford to lose 2 more games, and I have to make 5. That's the good thing about this practice game. It really gives you the real pressure of a real match. So this is the situation we've all been in. You're trailing 4-2, pressure gets higher and higher, you can't afford any more mistakes, but you might feel worse and worse because you made a couple of mistakes. So this is perfect practice for these pressure situations, and you want to practice pressure. It's not just practicing shots and all that technical stuff. You also want to practice pressure, and that's what you do with this practice game. It's really nice. Had another nice break here, but I improve a little bit. This is exactly the position I wanted to have for the 2. Got a nice angle now to get onto the 3 for the same pocket. Just a little bit of bottom left. Nice smooth stroke. There you go. Now I'm almost straight on the 3. Just have to follow the 3 a little bit to get the cue ball between the 7 and the 9. Exactly. Right there. There you go. Again, perfect position on the 4. I could play the cue ball between the 7 and the 9 now, but it's a little bit too risky. I don't want to run into one of those 2 balls and then miss position on the 5, so I opt for a lot of right-hand English and play a 2-rail position shot for the center of the table. That's just less risk to run into one of the other balls, and it's one golden rule of 9-ball or just any game. You don't want to run into balls because it's always hard to negotiate where the cue ball will end up. So you really need to know what you're doing if you're running into balls on purpose, and usually you don't want to do it. And a lot of positional mistakes happen because you run into balls. So that's why a lot of positional drills have the rule that you're not allowed to run into other balls, because that's what you want to practice. You don't want to touch other balls. Perfect position here on the 7. 2 rails. Now that's a straight shot, so I'm opting for just a nice draw shot. You should be comfortable playing shots like that. So if you struggle playing draw like that, playing follow shots like that with that much action on the ball, practice fundamentals. Because you need this stuff, and the better your fundamentals are, the more confident you feel like, okay, I can just play a draw shot over 4 or 5 diamonds without losing precision. You have way more options for positional play. So if you're not there yet, don't just run rack after rack after rack. Don't just play against your friends. Practice your fundamentals. That was a nice game. So it's only 3-4 now. I felt quite well here. I felt well before, but I made mistakes, so you never know. Let's see if I can pull off another one. So this time I didn't make the wing ball, but the one ball got some kicks and went into the other side pocket, as opposed to the opposite to the side pocket where it usually goes, if it goes. So it's 8 balls on the table again. I have ball in hand, of course, otherwise I would have been in a not that comfortable position, but with ball in hand it's fine. Yeah, position zone for the 3 is obvious, center of the table. Now I just want to make sure that I don't touch the 7 or the 8 playing position. So I decide to play this without any rail, just a nice stun shot on the 2. If you don't know what a stun shot is, a stun shot, I call it a stun shot if it's played like a stop shot but with an angle. So you can only play a real stop shot where the cue ball stops if you hit the object ball 100% solid, and if you shoot the object ball with an angle but use the exact same amount of action, stop shot action, it will travel on that famous 90-degree line, and that's what I call a stun shot. And I think most other people do too. So here, this if the 9 ball wasn't there, that would be an easy situation, just 4, 5, 6, but the 9 ball covers the 5, so I'm straight in on the 4 here. Actually, I planned to have a little angle on the 4 to play position for the 5, but now I'm straight in on the 4, so I don't have that many options here. And I decide to play this combination shot afterwards, the 5 to the 6. So what I'm going to do here is draw back the cue ball a little bit, because when I play the combination 5-6, the 5 ball will drift a little bit towards the bottom end of the table because there's a little angle. So I give myself a little bit more angle on the 5, so when playing the combination, the cue ball will also drift a little bit towards the bottom, so I have a position on the 5 after playing the combination. So the combination, making it is not that difficult, but having position on the next ball, that's the difficult thing about combinations, especially in 9 ball, where you always have to shoot the same ball again. If you played straight pool or 8 ball, you might have another ball you can play after playing the combination, but here I need the same ball, so I need to play position for the ball I play the combination with, and that's always a little bit tricky, but here it worked out perfectly. Now I have a nice position on the 7. I'm just playing this with a little bit of left hand English to change the angle. The cue ball will take after the rail, so I miss the 8 ball. I don't want to run to the 8 ball. Straight on the 8 now. I'd prefer an angle on the 8 to get away from the rail, but it's almost straight. I can cheat the pocket here a little bit. That's what I'm going to do to get a little bit away from the rail. Nice little draw shot, and yeah, I got plenty of space here. This is perfect straight in shot, and I'm not too close to the rail, so just play a solid power shot on the 9, and it's 4-4. That were 2 very nice racks in a row, so I'm back in business. And I'm looking quite solid here, I would say. Okay, wing ball down again, and again I get a nice position on the 1. So this is really something I would like to have in a real match, 9 ball. I rarely play 9 ball. Usually when I'm playing with my friends I play 10 ball. So I'm not used to that cut break that much, but here it really worked out. And I promised myself to remember what I've been doing right here for future matches. I could play from there. Difficult thing here is the position on the 2 because it only goes into the top right pocket. So now I give myself a nice angle here to float the cue ball between the 5 and the 8. And the position is perfect, but I missed the 1 ball, and that's so terrible. Yeah, you can tell that I'm very disappointed here. That's a missed shot, easy shot with ball in hand. That's the worst, especially after I made these 2 nice racks in a row and I was close to winning or getting a lead, and then I missed this easy shot. I could have made a mistake later in the rack, of course, so this is not a lost game, but it's just a terrible mistake. And after making the 2, I think that would have been the most difficult part of the whole rack. So yeah, I was disgusted by myself, as you can see. But anyway, when stuff like that happens in a match, you really have to let it go. You can't change the past, and you can just try to keep playing after that. Everybody makes mistakes, and here, especially in this race against the Ghost, it's you. You have your fate in your own hands, right? I can just win 3 games, and then I win the match. So you just gotta let it go, and that's also a good thing to practice, letting go of mistakes, even if they're super terrible. It happened, you can't change it, so just keep playing. And we've seen all kinds of comebacks, right? So even if you're down 6-0 in a race to 7, keep playing. You never know what happens. This time both the wing ball and the 1 ball went down. I'm glad I have ball in hand here because the position on the 2 was not very good. I know the pros usually play this cut break to make the 1 in the side because it's easier to control to make that ball. I'd prefer the wing ball to go down and the 1 ball not to go down, because usually it travels close to the top right pocket and you usually get a shot on the 1 ball. But of course the pros, they just try to make a ball because they don't want to let their opponent to an open table. So that's why they always try to make the 1 ball and then hope for a nice position on the 2 or on the next ball. Yeah, but I prefer to only make the wing ball. So actually here I have a layout that's not that difficult, but I have a tough position here. I didn't play the 3 ball very well, so now I have a straight in shot off the rail, and this is just proper technique. You just gotta make that shot. It's just a straight shot, nothing else. Just roll it in, and I got natural position for the 6. So that was not an easy position. I played it quite nicely, so I'm back in line. Should have played better position off the 3, of course, but well, I'm back in business. Now it's follow with a little bit of left-hand English to get a nice center table position on the 7. Now I just got to draw that back a little bit. I want to have an angle on the 8 to play position for the 9 over the rail, but I drew this a little bit too far, so now I'm almost straight on the 8, which means I'm just gonna draw back the cue ball without using any rails. Just a nice draw shot for the 9. And as you can see, I made that terrible mistake in the rack before on the 1 ball, but after that I just played a solid run out in the next rack, so it's 5-5 again. That's how you gotta deal with mistakes like that. But to be honest, I still had these mistakes on my mind. I thought at this point, this could be over already. It could be 7-3, or it could have been 7-2 already, because there was actually not really a difficult situation that I didn't create myself. So all those 5 games that I gave to the ghost were quite easy mistakes that I made, or sloppy, or yeah. So on the one hand, it's the good thing about it is it's not about my playing abilities, and the bad thing about it is I need to work on my focus here, because I gave 5 games away just for lack of concentration or focus or dedication. I don't really know. So let's see, maybe I can still win this. It's 5-5, nothing's lost. Wing ball doesn't go this time. It wobbles in the pocket. 2-ball doesn't go either, so it's 9 balls on the table now. Dry break. First dry break in this match, I think. But dry breaks don't matter. I can still keep playing. Have ball in hand. It's just 1 ball more on the table, so the run out might be a little bit more difficult. Okay, so now I can play the 2-ball in the side right next to it. And I'm playing position with top right, and I played this with a little bit too much speed on purpose. I'd rather play it with too much speed than with too little speed, because if I played it too slowly and played the 2-ball in the side, then the cue ball would be very hard to control. And this way, if I play it too hard like I did, I always have position on the 2 for the corner pocket where I played it now. So that's why I use a little bit too much speed on the 2-ball. 3-ball was simple, just rolling it in, and now there's another difficulty. It doesn't really look difficult, but the position on the 5 is a little bit tricky. I don't want to have a straight-in shot, because then position on the 6 would be hard, and at the same time I don't want to have too much of an angle, because then the cue ball would travel towards the upper part of the table. So now I'm trying to play the 4 and just give myself a little angle on the 5, and I managed that quite well. It's a little bit less than I wanted, and next time I play the 5 I would try something else. What I'm trying now is just punch the cue ball into the side rail, the bottom rail, and get enough speed for the 6, and that was not enough. So the rails on a diamond table, they are fast, but they're not that fast. So now I had a really thin cut on the 6. It's even thinner than it looks like here, and there's first you gotta make it, and second the position on the 7 will be quite long. So I tried to hold the cue ball a little bit here with a little bit of left-hand English, and while doing that I missed the 6. So that was, yeah, I was not sloppy here. I was just a little bit unlucky and maybe made the wrong decision. The 5-ball was the crucial ball, and maybe next time I would play the 5-ball with top right English and position the cue ball to the left of the 6. That would have been possible, I think. But I thought I could punch the cue ball for the 6 well. These are mistakes that happen. This rack it was unfortunate, especially when it's that late in a match and you're getting close to the finish line. But this was not the worst mistake of the match. I think those earlier simple mistakes they cost me the same amount of games like this mistake, but they were way worse. So this mistake would not be the mistake that cost me the game, the match. Again, wing ball doesn't go down. It wobbles in the corner again. So 2, 4, 6, 8. 1 ball is down. I didn't see where it went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 3. Oh no, it's all balls on the table. So it's the second dry break. And now I've got been very unfortunate. The 2-ball is hidden there, and I'm now trying to do something crazy, open this cluster of the 2 and the 7, and I almost did it. It was not a bad shot, but now I hooked myself on the 2. Yeah, now actually I've lost this game already, and I'm just trying a nice safety shot here. Was not too bad. Okay, so I've already lost the match, but I'm just checking if that is real safety, and as you can see, it's not, because I'm able to make the 2 on the side. Anyway, that was it. 7-5. It was not really a bad match, but yeah, maybe I gave it away a little bit too easily. Not late in the match, maybe the last one, but I think especially the earlier mistakes in the match really cost it. Anyway, it was nice to play Let's Play again. I hope the next one, I won't let you wait for the next 1.5 years again. If you like what I'm doing, you can like my Facebook page at facebook.com/playingpoolcom, or you can also subscribe to my newsletter if you're not on the list already at www.playing-pool.com. You get some nice freebies there if you subscribe to the newsletter. And if you like that video, please leave a thumbs up on YouTube and leave a comment. If you have questions, feel free to ask. Yeah, and if you have any requests for future Let's Plays, just let me know, and I will be happy to do something different in my next Let's Play. Okay, so thank you for today, and I see you next time. Bye bye.